as it does periodically, insisted that I update it lest the nefarious hackers that surround the globe somehow invade this. Of course, it would never happen, but what the hell. All right, we got my agenda. All right, let's go ahead and call this meeting to order. I will now do the roll call. Franco, are you here?
Franco's here. He just stepped away to get coffee.
Oh, thanks, Dave. Sunita, are you here?
I'm here.
Andrew, are you here?
Here.
David Kwan, are you here?
Here.
Howard Lee?
I'm present.
Eshvar?
Yes, here.
Dick?
Yes.
Hi, Dick. Dave Wilson?
I'm here.
Thanks, Dave. Let's see. I think we have a closed session. Hang on. We have a closed session, right, Roberto?
Yes, we do.
Okay,
Yes.
Linda or Michelle, go ahead and plunk us in a closed session. action. We had a closed session to look at a small investment or look at, never mind. Okay. Sorry about that. Orders of the day. Again, we have excellent Zoom manners on this board. If somebody's speaking and the question you have is temporal, you want to ask about a particular slide or just jump in, interrupt the speaker. If not, if it's sort of more of the general concept, wait until the end of the presentation. We'll do a round robin, or if it's amenable, I'll just open the floor and people can jump in. Under orders of the day, we have a couple of changes. Do we need to vote on these changes? Yeah, we're gonna need to vote on these, so let me go through them. Item 5.1 FF per applicant request, rescind the retirement application with, excuse me, retirement effective date of 1/31/23 for Fire Captain Martin S. Walker. Item 5.1 W per applicant request, change retirement effective date from 1/21/2023 to 1/22/2023 for police fire member David Olmos. Do I have a motion to accept those orders of the day?
So moved by Santos.
Do I have a second?
Second bottom.
I've got a motion by Santos, second by Votto. Let's go around real quick. Franco,
Aye.
Sunita,
Aye.
Andrew,
Aye.
David Kwan,
Aye.
Howard Lee,
Yes.
Eshvar,
Aye.
Dick,
Yes.
Dave Wilson.
Aye.
I'm Chair Lanza. I vote aye as well. At the beginning and end of the meeting, the floor is open. Staff, the public, retirees, actives. Anybody have any questions, comments? Going once, going twice. We're on to now to the consent calendar. Does anybody want to pull anything from the consent calendar? If not, I'll entertain a motion to approve the consent calendar.
So moved, Santos.
I've got a motion by Santos. So I have a second. I'll second. Lanza will second. Motion by Santos, second by Lanza. Let's go around. Franco, how do you vote?
Aye.
Sunita, how do you vote?
Aye.
Andrew,
Aye.
David Kwan,
Aye.
Howard,
Yes.
Eshvar,
Aye.
Jack,
Yes.
Dave,
Aye.
and I'm Chair Lanza. It's unanimous. I vote aye as well. I guess that takes us to you, Prabhu, in item 2. So the floor is all yours, Prabhu.
All right, thank you, Mr. Chairman. There are no agenda items under the investment section, but just as always, I do have pro forma performance information from Makita. These are again unaudited numbers and estimates. Last year, as you all know, was a really tough year. We hit a bear market for the S&P 500. It recovered somewhat, but the next 2 quarters promise to be tough as well. And a lot of the, the Fed had to do, of course, its thing, but it's still, I would say, in my opinion, that the Fed's hikes have been excessive. We went from a Fed funds rate of close to 0, 25 basis points, to almost 4.5% at the end of the year. The Fed actually hiked, there were 4 75 basis point hikes last year. And to put that in context, the last time there was a 75 basis point hike was in 1994. And the market was somewhat relieved that the last hike was only 50 basis points. That's how extreme the Fed's moves have been. But more on that at a later date. But that's essentially killed the bull market and has thrown the economy into a recession, even though we haven't officially called a recession. So it's taken a toll on our performance. So as of January 3rd, fiscal year to date, the pension plan was up 1.16%, and the healthcare trust was up 1.54%. So we'll wait and see what happens in the next 2 quarters, but this is turning out to be a tough fiscal year. With that, I'm happy to take questions. Again, no agenda items today.
Great. Floor's open. Jump in.
Prabhu, just for reference, do you know the calendar year performance?
The calendar year performance, I do have it. I think it was down. I don't have it open. Down 6 to 7% for.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, and that's good, just given what the bond market did and what the equity market did. So thank you.
That's right. Thank you. Yeah, helps to be diversified for sure. Yeah.
And to be clear, Prabhu, you've been adding alpha above and beyond that. You've been beating benchmark pretty consistently, right?
Thank you, Drew. The team has.
Yeah. Oh, good. Yeah. No, it's all you, Prabhu. When do you ever sleep? Yeah. So it's bad news on the economy, but it's good news for our team and for the sport, our strategy. So as Eshvar just pointed out, because our strategy takes on less risk, it doesn't quite suffer as badly in a downturn. And because our team adds alpha, we don't suffer as badly as anyone else that takes as little risk as us. So fair to say, Prabhu?
Yes, that's fair assessment, Drew.
Yeah. Good. Floor's open. Any questions? If not, let's see. Old business, 3A, do you want to drive that? Roberto, who's going to drive that one?
I was expecting to have a representative from the city at the meeting this morning, but since I don't see anyone, they reach out to, as you know, Sherry Parkman, who is our contact liaison for the city, is out on maternity leave. For those of you that don't know, she had a beautiful and healthy baby girl late last year, and she is home with her baby. So my contact person in most issues for myself and the board is Jennifer Chambry, but we also have some members of the Office of Employee Relations. They reached out to me late last month, indicating that they wanted to take this issue again, just to get a sense of which topics your board will be interested on, including in the next agenda with your joint meeting with the City Council. Please note, number one, that no date or time has been even discussed or scheduled yet. As you all know probably, or many of you know, the new mayor just came into the office this week, and so they haven't have a meeting with the new mayor, and they still have 2 council members slots that are open and vacant at this time. So it will take some time for the full council to be in place. I'm assuming sometime later this month. In any case, the point being that we're not sure yet when this meeting will happen. The original goal is to have the meeting just about the same time or a little before the mayor have to make his budget introduction of budget presentation publicly, which is sometime in the month of March. I'm gonna say around mid-March, but I'm not completely sure the particular date. So that means we're looking at some dates. Probably January is not gonna happen, so February or early March. That's it. The discussion for this morning is what probably a couple of items or issues that you would like your board to be considered for your joint meeting with the City Council. Thank you.
Great. So why don't we proceed as follows, if you agree, Roberto? Why don't we leave this item, and Linda and Roberto and I will keep our eyes open for somebody from the city jumping in, probably Jennifer. And if that doesn't happen, we probably, well, based on what you said, and I agree, Roberto, we can probably postpone it till next month.
Okay, no, that will be quite right. And then we'll make sure that we have the city representative available. We'll probably have hopefully more information to share with you, and we will attach the same information just as a reference. We attached this information the prior time you discussed this item. just to remind you what were the issues you have discussed in the past with the city council. So thank you, Mr. Chair.
Yeah, great. All right. Any questions on that?
Chair Lanza,
Yeah.
if I just take a moment, I wanted to relay to Linda Alexander, her husband Tony's father passed. And Tony's a good friend of mine. I just want to give our condolences and thank you very much.
Thank you.
Yeah, on behalf of the whole board, Linda, our sincere condolences. Item 4A, Roberto, your update.
Yes, thank you, Mr. Chair. So this will be a quick update. Let me start by welcoming all of you to the new 2023 year, and I hope you all have good holidays and wishing you all a happy new year. Just wanted to let you know, retirees 1099 hours will be mailed at the end of this month as required by law. Our offices will be closed on Monday, January 16 for Martin Luther King Day Jr. The guaranteed purchasing power for 2022, as well as the cost of living for police and fire members, will be paid in the month of February. That will be next month. That's why you are seeing many service retirements on your agenda this morning. And the January edition of the newsletter will be mailed out later this month. I don't have any other comments, Mr. Chair. I'm happy to answer any questions.
Thanks. Floor is open. Any questions? If not, item 4B. Oh,
Right,
go
one
ahead,
quick-
jump in.
Roberto, any update on when we might be in person for the next or whatever board meeting?
That's a good question. I will actually defer to both general counsels if they have any latest information on that or any news.
I can speak to that item, Trustee Lee. So the governor has not made any changes to his plan to lift the governor's proclamation for the state of emergency due to COVID-19 at the end of February. And so the next time, the very last time we will be able to utilize AB 361 is at our February meeting, and that will allow us to meet virtually for the next 30 days from that date. So technically, if the board does adopt AB 361 at its February meeting, March would be the last time we would meet virtually
Okay, thanks.
under the current circumstances.
All right, great, thank you.
Floor is still open. Any more questions?
My name is Carolyn Gibson. I'm from the Office of Employee Relations.
Oh, great. Nice to meet you.
Sorry, I
Happy New
was
Year.
in the wrong mode watching and I couldn't comment. So I don't know procedurally if we can go back. I think Roberto did a very good job of hitting the highlighted items. I am stepping in for Cheryl. We are trying to get this joint meeting scheduled for February or March, and we just wanted to get it on your agenda so that you could hopefully today talk about potential topics that you might like to have discussed at that meeting.
Great. No, Caroline, we were waiting for you, so it's great that you're here. Okay, we now have somebody from OER, so we're jumping back to 3A and suggestions for the meeting. Well, let me lead off. We're doing a lot of work with the Federated Board and the Joint Personnel Committee about incentive compensation for our investment team. So if you could add an agenda, think about adding an agenda item where we would just sort of discuss what we're up to, probably just a 5 or 10 minute item. The title would be something like incentive compensation for the pension plans investment team. Does that sound right, Prabhu, as a title?
The title sounds right, Drew,
Yeah.
but maybe we should talk about,
Okay.
about
Well, floor is open. Anybody else have anything they think we should discuss with the council beyond what's sort of already in the package? Yeah, go ahead, jump in then, Prabhu. What are your thoughts?
Well, I mean, in the past, we do have, a new city council and several members are new. And in the past, we've used these joint sessions to educate city council members on our approach to investments and asset allocation. Now, since we have, I think about half the council is new, so it may be worth spending, a few minutes to talk about our approach to investments, our asset allocation, why the portfolio has been built the way it is, and to talk about, diversification, private investments, and so on, if the board feels that it's appropriate.
Yeah, I assume it's true. It's not, I just looked, it's on the agenda. I assume we do it. Do you think we can do that and sort of add this discussion about incentive compensation to the end of that? Or is that too much fire hose in one day?
Well, I think we can certainly talk about asset allocation, and we can talk about performance over the last 3 to 5 years. And that will also demonstrate whether the plans and whether staff and boards have added any excess return over the benchmark.
Yeah.
And sort of lay the groundwork for further discussion on compensation later.
So Carolyn, yeah. So what was that in the past, Brew? Like a half an hour of the meeting? You ran something like that?
Well, I mean, I think that was one of the agenda items that we discussed. I think there were initially, when we first did this, there were a lot of questions around why do we invest in private markets?
Right.
Some council members said, why not just invest in the S&P 500 and so on? So I think that was a presentation that, if I remember right, Vince, myself, and maybe Anurag from the Federated Board made, and I thought it was well received and it was educational in nature.
So Caroline, maybe there's sort of 2 or 3 agenda items there. In a way, you sort of talk about 2, right? Sort of like the general, what are we doing? And then somebody talks about, and how are we doing against what we said we'd do? And the third then would be a natural segue into incentive compensation. A 3-step approach, sort of a general overview, a comment on our particular performance, and then the third thing would be, and how do we maintain that performance? Which would be, does that sound right to you?
Yeah, I think you've summed it well, Drew. I think Harvey has his hand up.
Oh yeah, jump in. The floor is open, folks. Jump in, Harvey.
Thank you. In addition to the investment approach, I think the city council may be interested in some of the demographics. Some of those actuarial charts that Bill Hallmark has shown us, where the ratios of active to inactive, just some of which affects the hiring and other decisions that the city council makes, in addition to our investment, would be educational for a lot of the new city council members.
I'm sorry, go ahead, Prabhu.
No, I was just going to say, Harvey raises a good point. I think, in fact, that's important because part of it's not just investments, right? Part of the reason why we take less risk than our peers is exactly that, right? It's the composition of the demographics of our beneficiaries, tier 1 to tier 2, and how much of the city's budget goes into funding the plan annually, and all of this ties into that approach. So.
No, what I was going to say is that I usually provide the city council letterman that kind of data and information during my presentation of the valuation reports. So I do bring those issues to the city council myself. Not that that couldn't be a joint meeting discussion, but I just wanted to make that point aware.
Any other comments? Carolyn, if you want to reach back out to Prabhu, I assume the board would be fine with Prabhu, you structuring that presentation and giving Carolyn the verbiage on it.
Yeah, no, I'm happy to do it, Drew, in consultation with Roberto, of course.
Okay, that works for me. Prabhu, I'll be getting in touch with you to clarify those topics.
Of course.
Great.
So we do need to take a discussion, an action item. So there should be a motion for the direction for Prabhu to speak with Carolyn.
I'll move that Prabhu finalize our agenda item having to do with our financial performance. Is there a second for that motion?
Second, Santos.
All right, let's go around. Franco,
Aye.
Sunita,
Aye.
Andrew,
Aye.
David,
Aye.
Howard,
Yes.
Eshvar,
Aye.
Dick,
Yes,
Dave.
Aye.
I'm Carolyn Zabadai. Hey, Carolyn, have I ever met you before? How long have you been working at OER?
It will be 10 years in February.
Man, I
And
must, yeah, go ahead.
I have attended meetings in the past, but Cheryl primarily has been our contact for retirement.
Yeah, I did. Your name's familiar, but I think we met somewhere along the Measure G line or something. Anyway, that's it, Carolyn. Great. If you have any other questions, just reach out to me or Roberto or Prabhu.
Sounds great. Thank you.
Happy New
Great.
Year.
Caroline, I just want to let you know, this is Roberto. We must have started at the same time with the city because my 10-year anniversary is also this coming February. So
I
You started
think
a
you
very good
did,
time.
Roberto. I think they hired you not just maybe a few weeks after I started. I think I started February 3rd.
oh, I started the 11th or something like that. Yes.
Yeah.
Well, congratulations. Look forward to
You
working with you.
too.
in the
We're
meantime,
almost
Carol.
twins.
That's right.
Yeah,
Rolex
yeah.
awaits you.
All right. Item 4D. So Mr. Frigaldi, I noticed online, but we said time certain at 10. So Mr. Frigaldi, we'll pick you up in about 20 minutes. Roberto, item 4D, Cortex.
Yes. So what you have before you, this item came before you last year. And after your approval of the request, I was working with your general counsel and with Cortex to actually provide an amendment to the contract. As you all know, Cortex was actually changed hands, ownership from Tommy Annucci to Volte Viola, and which limited our ability to actually have an amended contract from the prior contracts with Cortex, which necessitated a brand new agreement. So what is before you is the same request, which you approved in the past, for a total not to exceed an amount of $30,000 for the year, calendar year 2023. And but instead of an amendment to the prior contract with Cortex, this is a brand new agreement with the new Cortex ownership. And so with that, I'm happy to answer any questions, and I recommend approval of the request. Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Great. Floor's open. Any questions or comments?
Roberto, this is Howard. This is exactly the same amount as the last contract?
Correct. It's the same extension. We were extending it for $30,000. It's exactly the same amount. Yes, correct.
Okay, great. And I think they do good work from my point of view. Is that the sense from the rest of the staff?
We do. We think they do great work. To be honest, we were more used to working with Tommy Annucci, but I have to say that I have been pleasantly surprised because I didn't know. I know Volter's background was more on investment, but the caliber of work remains high, and we're happy to continue working with Cortex, which, as you know, is an integral part of the new performance annual performance review that the boards have implemented for the CEO and CIO, which is probably going to be one of the main responsibilities for the next couple of years working with Cortex. Thank you.
Okay, and one last thing I recall was we're not in a cycle of reviewing new vendors for this. Is that right?
No, we're not. This is a very niche area, and there are not that many options, even nationwide. So in this particular case, no, we do not.
Okay. All right. Thanks, Roberto.
You're welcome.
Yeah, I can speak for JPC. You know, as the as your chairman, I have to do Roberto's performance review, and Eshvar does Prabhu's, and Cortex drives 95% of the paperwork in that process. And if they didn't drive it, I'm not sure, we'd have to probably hire somebody to do it anyway, because we can't quite have Roberto drive the paperwork for his own review, right? So
Motion by Santos to approve.
great. Motion by Santos. Do I have a second?
Second by trustee Lee.
Great. Any more discussion on this item? Now let's vote. Franco,
Aye.
Sunita,
Aye.
Andrew,
Aye.
David,
Aye.
Howard,
Yes.
Eshvar,
Aye.
Dick,
Yes.
Dave.
Aye.
I'm Chair Lanza. I vote aye as well. Well, you know, Roberto guessed at our meeting we'd end by noon, and so far we're doing pretty dang good.
Yeah, maybe this is a brand new year.
4E AB 2449. I'm guessing that's you, Maytak.
Yeah, that's right. I do
Great.
see our court reporter here for item 4C for the Fagaldi, and I do see Mr. Fagaldi in the gallery. Mr. Fagaldi, is your council going to be participating today as well? Oh, maybe he stepped away. So let's continue. Madam Court Reporter, we're going to continue to item 5E, and we will resume at 10 a.m. Thank you. So going to item 5E, I'm going to be sharing my screen. Let me know if, can I please?
Just for the record, it's 4E, Maytak.
Oh, I'm sorry, 4E.
You're fine, just for the record.
Sure. Can I please get screen sharing capabilities, please? Sorry, I'm still waiting for the screen sharing capabilities. Thank you. Okay. So please let me know if you can see my screen.
Yes.
Yeah, all good.
Okay, thank you. And so we've discussed this in the past. We went over AB 2449, which is the legislation that the governor enacted effective January 1st of this year for the new rules for virtual meetings. We discussed that during our Brown Act educational presentation a couple months ago. In addition to those virtual rules, the AB 2449 also requires legislative bodies such as this board to adopt and implement a procedure for receiving and swiftly resolving any requests for reasonable accommodations for those with disabilities consistent with federal law, meaning the ADA. And so what I'm bringing here to the board today is a proposed policy for compliance with AB 2449's mandate for us to adopt a procedure for receiving and resolving ADA requests. Now, there are two main components of the law that requires us to comply effective January 2023. Is that one, we have to adopt procedures and outline them, which this policy does here. You'll see here that the whereas clauses that set forth the preliminary background of what the law is and what the law requires. Then we have a section here in the policy that outlines a designated contact person at ORS for anyone who wants to request any reasonable accommodations. This is consistent with federal practice. And then we also have a recommended procedure for resolving any request for reasonable accommodations. Now, the second component of the law is also that for any public notice of a public meeting, meaning our agendas, we must state on the agenda how the public member can reach out to ORS or the board to request reasonable accommodations. The law does not require that we put forth a lengthy statement, but we have provided here a proposed statement that accords with the spirit of the law, which is to increase accessibility for our meetings. And this basically outlines the policy for us to adopt for receiving and resolving ADA requests. Now, I know on our agendas, I have it here. Let me just scroll up. We do currently have a short statement here that does state that we could on how to request accommodations, and it has a phone number and request it at least 3 business days before the meeting. So what we could do instead of providing this lengthier statement here is to include the designated contact personnel information as designated in the policy, and then include a link to the policy statement for how we will go about resolving these issues. So I'm giving 2 alternatives for the board here today. We could either adopt this recommended policy as written, which includes a provision here for the written notice to the public that would be included with our agenda as stated in this policy. Or alternatively, we could do a more truncated version to add the designated contact information and then a link to this policy on all our agendas moving forward. So this statement here, as under AB 2449, is meant to replace the COVID notice information because it's the proclamation for the state of emergency is going to be lifted. And so there's a new requirement that we include ADA accessibility in its lieu. With that, I turn it over to the board in case you have any questions or if you would like me to scroll to any particular provision of the policy.
So let me jump in first, Maytag. So I sort of generally always prefer brevity, but of those 2 recommendations, which do you prefer?
With the spirit of the law, I would personally prefer to have the information posted with it. So that way the member does not have to go, or the member of the public does not have to go digging for how we would go do that. It would just be stated with the agenda. That's my personal preference.
Yeah, I mean, it's fine with me. I just sort of, it makes everything longer. Floor's open. Any questions for Maytag?
I would make that a motion on Maytag's recommendation.
Yeah, I think I would try prefer brevity, Maytag, but I catch your point. Do we have a second for Dick's motion to put the whole thing in there?
Second by Gardner.
Wilson, I'll second.
That's great. I've got a motion. Don't everybody talk at once. I have a motion by Santos, second by the legendary Dave Gardner or Andrew Wilson, whichever you prefer. Let's go around. Franco.
Aye.
Great. Sunita.
Aye.
Andrew.
Aye.
David Kwan.
Aye.
Howard.
Yes.
Eshvar.
Aye.
That's great. Dick.
Yes.
Dave Wilson.
Aye.
I'm Chair Lanza and I vote aye. Maytag, we could probably do 4F and even take a little break. Am I reading the timing right?
Yes, we have about 10 minutes before item 4C. If you want to take a quick break, we could do that.
Yeah, so good. Fire up 4F, Maytag.
Okay. So this one you are very familiar with. The governor's proclamation for the state of emergency remains in place and the city council continues to recommend social distancing. So if this board adopts those 2 factual findings by a majority vote, you may continue to meet virtually for the next 30 days.
So do I have a recommendation to accept the verbal findings and meet virtually? Motion.
Motion by Gardner to.
I have a motion by Gardner. Second.
Whoa. Okay, sorry guys. I apologize. Sorry, I didn't catch that.
Yeah. Oh, I have a motion by Gardner. A second by you, Dave.
Second, Santos.
Oh, second Santos. Motion by Gardner. Second Santos. Go on. Franco.
Aye.
Sunita.
Aye.
Andrew.
Aye.
David.
Aye.
Howard.
Yes.
Eshvar.
Aye.
Dick.
Yes.
Dave Wilson.
Aye.
I'm Chair Lanza. I vote aye. remember that at the very end of this board meeting, we'll go through and do the Maytac show by committee. I'm reading 9.
Mr. Chair, can I ask a
Yeah.
question of Maytag?
Sure, jump in.
You may have mentioned this before. I apologize as I was on a call before, but if the governor does let the current situation expire February 28th, and the boards approve AB 361 at the February meetings, what does that mean for the March meetings?
That means that they may continue to meet virtually. That would be the last meeting they will be allowed
So
to meet.
both March meetings could be virtually, assuming everything stayed the same and AB 361 is approved in the month of February, which means starting in April, we need to then, assuming everything has stayed the same, we will need to have in-person meetings. Okay, great, thank you.
Great. All right, I'm showing about 9:53. Why don't we take a 5-minute break and come back around 9:58 or 9:59? Thanks, everybody. I'll see you in 5. item 4C, you're gonna drive, right, Maytag?
Correct.
Go ahead.
So this item is brought to the board based on the member's appeal of a decision from the Office of Retirement Services to deny his post-retirement optional settlement election based on San Jose Municipal Code 3.361468. But before I start, I did want to make a couple preliminary comments. We do have a court reporter here transcribing everything, and the materials for this item were not posted publicly with the agenda, but they are available for requests from the public under any California Public Records Act request. And both parties will have about 15 minutes per side to present their statements to the board before the board can take action on this item. So with that, I will go ahead and begin. So Mr. Frigaldi retired in 2006 and got married last year in April of 2022. The San Jose Municipal Code requires that any post-retirement optional settlement election be made within 30 days of the date of marriage. Mr. Frigaldi did not inform ORS within that tight time deadline window and informed ORS of his marriage in July of 2022. So the code does not provide the board any discretion. So I've highlighted the main provisions here of the code for the board to follow along. As you'll see, this is the code provision that provides for the optional settlement elections for a retired member. And it states that the optional settlement must be filed within the time specified in subdivision B, which is highlighted here. And it requires that it be filed within 30 days after the date of marriage or establishment of a domestic partnership. In case of a member not described in paragraphs 1 or 2. Paragraphs 1 or 2 are time limited by date. So Mr. Frigaldi does not fall within paragraphs B1 or 2. So the deadline for the 30 days submission is very clear that it must be submitted within 30 days of marriage. Mr. Frigaldi admits that he did not submit his optional settlement election within that time frame. But unfortunately, the board must follow the code because it does not provide any discretion to the board. The board is an administrative body that must administer the law as written. And the board must also follow these code provisions for another reason, which is to maintain our tax exempt status. And that status depends on us administering and enforcing the plan document, which is the San Jose Municipal Code as written. The hard and fast deadline written into the code is something for the city council to re-examine and change if it finds the code provision harsh. That is not within the jurisdiction of this board. And so our recommendation, given the timing of events and the provisions of the municipal code, section 3.36.1468, I'm sorry, San Jose Municipal Code 3.36.1468, that it affirmed the Office of Retirement Services denial of Mr. Frigaldi's post retirement optional settlement election. With that, I reserve a 5 minutes for rebuttal following Mr. Frigaldi's statement.
I'd just like to say that I'm fully aware now of the municipal code section. I'm not a legal scholar. I did not have legal counsel until I did obtain counsel briefly, who basically educated me to what the law said in this matter. And I agree that I made a gross error by not notifying the board within the actual 14-day window of time, because when you get married and submit your marriage certificate comes from the county. Mine came approximately 2 weeks after my marriage. And so that's even a shorter window of opportunity to make the notification. And in my particular circumstance, My only excuse is that I was being overwhelmed with medical issues for my now wife and other life events occurring all at that same time. And although that doesn't give justification for me forgetting, it does bring to light that the 30-day window, there needs to be something where the board has some kind of discretion to make an exception in these rules. Because now, given these circumstances, my wife will not have any financial support should I pass away before her. And like I said, a stupid move on my part, not being aware of the system and updates that I had to make in such a short window of time that led to this. And that's basically all I have to say on the matter.
Maytak, do you
So,
want to comment
sure.
on any of that?
Sure. So the law is very clear that it's a mandatory law that use a deadline of 30 days. It uses the word must be filed and must be filed twice in the municipal code. And with regard to Mr. Frigaldi's awareness of the provision, as you'll see with the backup materials that we've provided with our memo, Exhibit A shows that Mr. Frigaldi did initial here where it says notifications at the time of retirement. I understand if I remarry after retirement, I will have 30 days from the date of marriage to choose a survivorship option for my new spouse, which will result in a benefit reduction to me. And so he did have notice of this provision and did initial it at the time of his retirement.
Is it time for the board to comment,
Yes.
Maytak? Great. So we've seen this before, and if I heard Mr. Frigaldi right, he wasn't challenging any of this. He was saying that the rules are kind of stupid, and we've seen this before. So if I understand what you're saying, Maytak, we can't grant this. We don't have the power to grant this. Is this one of those cases, Harvey, Maytak, where we should send a letter to the city council with, I think, concretely Mr. Frigaldi's suggestion that this is an awfully tight window, and either expand the window or grant the support? I mean, they probably won't listen, but we've done that in the past. Is that appropriate?
Even if we did alert the city council of any requested changes to the municipal code, that would not affect Mr. Frigaldi's particular circumstances because the code provisions in effect at the time the events occurred would be the governing code provisions. Now, so for the purposes of this agenda item, any letter would not change the outcome of the board's action because, as you say, Chair Lanza, our hands are tied by the letter of the law as it currently stands. Now, if the board also wants to address the harshness of the municipal code, that's a separate matter for the board to consider at a later date.
Right, that makes sense. Hey, Maytak, do you know, Frigaldi was worried in the case of his demise of his wife's insurance, is she still eligible for Medicare when she turns 65?
That I am not sure. I would have to defer to Barbara Heyman.
Do you know, Barbara or Roberto, does any of this preclude her from getting Social Security when she turns Medicare rather when she turns 65?
I'll defer to Barbara on that matter. Barbara, do you have
Yeah,
any?
that would be Social Security.
Yeah.
As far as the health care through the city, though, no, she would not.
But she would be eligible for Medicare, Sandra, do you know?
She is eligible to be a dependent of Mr. Frigaldi in our health plans as a spouse. So yes, she would be eligible through our normal dependent coverage of healthcare. It's just the pension benefit after Mr. Frigaldi would pass that we're talking about today.
So live a long life, Mr. Fagalde.
Yeah, I'm hopeful for that because that's the only way around this, apparently. My wife is older than I am. She currently is receiving Medicare and Social Security benefits, as am I. And so, like I said, apparently, the only way out of this for our situation is for me to live. My grandfather lived to be 98 years old. I could only hope to get close to that.
Don't we all? So, Maytag, do we actually take a vote on this? We don't have any authority here, it sounds like.
We do have to take a vote since the member appealed the decision to affirm the ORS's denial of his optional settlement election.
What would you recommend then for the motion, Maytag?
The motion would be to affirm the ORS's denial of his untimely post-retirement marriage optional settlement election.
Great. Well, I will go ahead and make the motion that we deny this application concretely on the basis that we do not have the statutory authority to approve it. Is there a second?
I'll second, Mr. Chair, with the discussion, please.
Yeah, go ahead, jump in, Dick. Anybody, the floor is open. Go ahead.
Well, as you stated, Drew, with your experience here, and I've had things happen before, and we've had some cases of death, and it's really sad that these officers dedicate their lives, and then, like Mr. Fagaldi said, all of a sudden you're overwhelmed by different things. 30 days is not appropriate. And I would hope, like you suggested, Mr. Chair, let's send a letter of some type that gives this officer the support, but we need to get this recommendation to be changed because of, again, circumstances that happen sometimes is just overwhelming and things could be forgotten, whatever have you. So we need to make a change, at least a proposal. Thank you.
Yeah, floor's still open.
Yeah, Drew,
Yeah.
so I think this law is silly as see, it's 30 days. So is the authority to change it with the city council? What authority do we have?
We don't have any authority to change the municipal code, only the city council may do that.
Yeah. So
we don't write them letters very often, Ishwar, but I think they do respond to them when we do.
Yeah, I think we should write a letter. And does the city council have authority to, I guess, I mean, they can change the law, but I guess to look at Mr. Fagaldi's case in any way?
No, because we are the ones that administer the plan according to the municipal code set by the city council. Now, the city council may, if it so chooses, may amend the San Jose Municipal Code provisions, and if it so chooses, may make it retroactive if it wanted to, sort of date certain. I will note that any changes to the San Jose Municipal Code often require meet and confer with the various unions. And so that is something to also kind of alert everybody to. It's not just the city council, but it may also trigger some MOUs and bargaining agreements.
Okay. So even though we have no authority, we still take a vote? I don't understand that.
Yes, because the member has appealed ORS's decision to the board for reconsideration. And so on reconsideration, we have to take action to affirm that decision of ORS.
So, thank you, Maytag. Just as a general rule, I just wanted to share with the board, just like in this instance, there are many other situations where members bring issues to the staff where we have to make decisions. Not all of the issues that are raised by members ultimately make it to your board, but whenever a member likes to appeal the staff decision on the matter, they have the right to come before your board. So I just wanted to make that point. You don't see all the decisions that the staff have to make because some of them are probably a little more straightforward than others. But as Council Maytag indicated, in this case, we need a motion by your board to affirm the staff recommendation and decision in this case. Thank you.
Okay, I definitely support the letter, and I guess maybe fellow trustees who represent the employees, could look at it too, I suppose.
Yeah.
We can
Yeah,
put
I mean,
that as a
wonder-
future agenda item.
Yeah, I just sent an email to you, Roberto Maytack. Let's the three of us work together to draft that letter. Is there anything we can do administratively, Barbara? Send a tickle email at 21 days? Does that make any sense?
I can jump in for Barbara.
Yeah, go ahead.
So it's difficult for ORS to track these things because we don't
Yeah.
have access to marriage certificates.
Well, yeah, but could we send have we sent Mr. Frigaldi an email saying if you've been married in the last 3 weeks, you have 10 days to notify the city? He probably wouldn't be in this bind right now.
Drew, the problem is, I mean, you're absolutely right, but we have no idea when members get married, get sick, pass away. So, in
Yeah.
fact, we wouldn't even know that he's married unless he told us. He could be married for 10 years. And we
Yeah, that's
never
why I
found
say
out.
that's why I say Roberto sent him a particular email saying you were happy to initial all the paperwork. You initialed the following 3 things. If any of this has changed, let us know right away. But you're right. We've talked about this before, and it's too hard. So
Yeah, I mean, it just, I guess what I'm raising here, I think I understand your point, and it's a valid point, valid request or a statement. The question would be, when did you send that out? Because I got to tell
Yeah.
you, the chances are, if they member didn't mention anything during their filing the paperwork for retirement, it wouldn't make sense to send it right after. And then after that, we don't, when will we send it? You know, we wouldn't know.
Yeah. Yeah. All right. Any more comments?
Yeah, this is,
Go ahead.
yeah, so I am very sympathetic to Mr. Figaldi. I've missed deadlines for a lot of different reasons, and it's frustrating. And I would agree that if you can't change the process, like Roberto said, you can't always keep pinging people every month to see if anything's changed on their end.
Yeah.
I would fully support a letter that I think the date is the only thing you could probably change in terms of the duration. And I would support a letter to at least get that change for anything in the future. So, you kind of avoid these situations with retirees like Mr. Frigaldi.
Yeah, I agree. Any more comments? There is a motion by Lanza and a second by Santos. Just go around and vote. Franco?
Aye.
Sunita?
Aye.
Andrew?
Aye.
David?
Aye.
Howard?
Yes.
Eshvar?
Aye.
Dick?
Yes,
Dave?
Aye.
And I'm Charles. Aye. Mr. Frigaldi, I think you hit the nail on the head when you sort of said, maybe you can't help me, but maybe I, Mr. Frigaldi, can help others. And so I think we'll write that memo and we'll bounce a draft off you before we send it to the city council. I'm sorry we can't help you. Pretty clearly our hands are tied here.
Yeah, I would hope that the board ultimately would have a ultimate clause that granted them discretion in very few incidences, because I'm sure there are a few worthwhile incidents that occur in people's lives that prohibit them from meeting a deadline or some other issue involving application for a change of benefits. And I think that there should be a bailout type clause where the board has a discretion to rule. Otherwise, you're, you have no power.
Well, it's very interesting, and I would amplify that. I think you're right. It doesn't matter if we have the power, the city council could have the power, but as Councilor Maytack just said, even the city, if I hear you right, Maytack, even the city council couldn't vote to reverse this without changing the statute. Did I hear you right?
That's correct.
So great, they have the appeal. Doesn't matter who has the appeal. I think the problem, you're right, Mr. There's no appeal process. Even the city council can't be appealed to. So, yeah, I think the argument on this is not so much the board should have the power, it's somebody should have the power. There should have been some organization you could go to and lay out your case, and there isn't. Even the city council themselves has tied their hands. Great. Any other comments?
Yeah, Mr. Chair Santos.
Yeah.
It would be a in his best favor to have his POA president and that group and also the firefighters send letters of support to the mayor and council. It could be helpful.
Yeah, I agree. We'll coordinate this. We'll loop you in, Mr. Figaldi, to get your help writing that memo. And yeah, we'll bounce it. We'll do a good job on this one.
And the retirees and the retiree association.
Oh, everybody, because I'm with you, Mr. Figaldi. It's not so much this rule exists. It's what the hell do we have a rule with a tight timeline with no appeal process? That just seems silly to me. All right, let's move on. Nice meeting you, Mr. Figaldi. Happy New Year.
Thank you.
All right, we've got I'm really hoarse. We've got 35 service retirements. It's pretty normal. It's always happens at the end of the year. So I'm going to go through this fast, and hopefully I won't go hoarse. Alfonso Alvarez.
Get it on the screen. Get it on the screen.
Yeah, get the names on the screen. Fire prevention.
Thank you, Terry.
Oh, thanks, Terry. Fire department effective Jan 7, 23, 25.49 years service. Christina L. Anaya, police lieutenant. Police department effective Jan 7, 23, 27.33.
Put the names on the screen, please. Put the names on the
service.
Mr. Chairman, yes.
Oh, yeah.
Thanks,
Terry. Happy New Year.
Thank you. Happy New Year.
Yeah.
I will put the name on the screen. Just a moment, please.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Good. Okay. Todd L. Ashbaugh, fire engineer, fire department effective Jan 7, 23, 27.47 years of service. The first three are over 25 years. That's something. Stephen E. Brown, fire engineer, fire department effective Jan 23, 2023, 27.69 years of service with reciprocity. Luis Carrasco, fire engineer, fire department effective Jan 7, 23, 24.69 years of service. Juan Ceballos, police lieutenant, police department effective Jan 8, 23, 30. Good Lord, man, we're losing centuries here. 31.47 years of service with reciprocity. Richard C. DeLisser, police sergeant, police department, effective Jan 31, 23, 26.82 years of service. Hang on, change your page. Forrest Fernandez, fire engineer, fire department, effective Jan 29, 23, 29.13 years service with reciprocity. Jeff Fiedler, police officer, police department, effective Jan 21, 23, 24.47 years service. Gilbert Fox, police officer, police department, effective Jan 7, 23, 27.37 years service with reciprocity. Brian W. Hodges, fire captain, fire department, effective Jan 21, 23, 27.82 years service with reciprocity. We're going to have almost a millennium of service going here. John Hogue or Hoge, police officer, police department, effective Jan 21, 23, 24.25 years service. John M. Hutchings, police lieutenant, police department, effective Jan 7, 23, 31.6 years service with reciprocity. Anthony R. King, second fire captain, fire department, effective Jan 29, 23, 26.02 years service. David Kirby, police officer, police department, effective Jan 7, 2023, 20.07 years service. Timothy Lewis, fire prevention, fire department, effective Jan 21, 23 with 22.11 years service with reciprocity. Mark S. Mabanag, police officer, police department, effective Jan 8, 23, 29.01 years service with reciprocity. Chad E. Marshall, police officer, police department, effective Jan 7, 2023, 26.87 years service with reciprocity. Robert McAlavey, police officer, police department, effective Jan 21, 2023, 23.18 years service. Melvin P. Meeks, fire captain. Wow, third captain. Holy crap. Fire department effective Jan 7, 23, 25.02 years service. Jesus Mendoza, police lieutenant, police department effective Jan 21, 23, 25.95 years service with reciprocity. Brett J. Myers, police sergeant, police department effective Jan 21, 23, 26.38 years service. David Olmos, fire captain. Lord, that's the fourth one. Fire department effective Jan 21, 23, 28.01 years service. Fernando L. Pedreda, police officer, police department effective Jan 21, 23, 25.35 years service. I haven't even gotten to Z yet. Jose L. Rodriguez, police sergeant, police department effective Jan 7, 23, 26.8 years of service. Victor M. Rodriguez, police officer, police department effective Jan 21, 23, 25.12 years service. Richard R. Rosenquist, fire engineer, fire department effective Jan 8, 23, 25.03 years service. Edward R. Schroeder, deputy chief, deputy chief of police, police department effective Jan 21, 2023, 29.46 years of service. Aubrey Smith, fire, that's a great name, Aubrey, I love that. Aubrey Smith, fire engineer, fire department effective Jan 21, 2023, 25.07 years service. Oscar Tovar, fire captain. This is like, I didn't even read this. It was like 7 fire captain retiring. Fire department effective Jan 29, 23, 28.03 years service. Victor Velazquez, fire captain. He might not be Castilian. Fire captain, fire department effective January 7th, 23. 25.03 years service. Martin S. Walker, fire captain, fire department effective Jan 7, 23. 25.5 years service. Ellen Washburn, deputy chief of police, fire department effective Jan 7, 23, 28.85 years service. And Philip K. White, police officer, police department effective Jan 31, 23, 25.01 years of service. Do I have a motion to approve these?
So move, Santos.
Do I have a second?
Second, Wilson.
I've got a motion, Santos, second, Wilson. Let's go around. Franco?
Aye.
Sunita?
Aye.
Andrew?
Aye.
David?
Aye.
Howard?
Yes.
Ashvar?
Aye.
Dick?
Yes.
Dave? Dave? He stepped away. We're good. I don't know if you guys want to say anything about any of these folks?
Yeah, Dick Santos here. I know many of them, and many of them had fathers and uncles and relatives there. We're losing a lot of officers, but of course, I wish them the best and be safe. Thank you very much.
Great. Any comments, Andrew, Franco?
Yeah. Hey, Drew, this is Andrew.
Yeah.
I've worked with everybody on the fire side before. They're all great people. Thank you for your service. Enjoy your retirement. Stay healthy.
Great. We only got one deferred vested. Tamara L. Remington, police officer, police department effective Jan 23, 2023, 10.01 years of service. Do I have a motion to approve?
So move, Santos.
You got a motion by Santos. Do I have a second?
Second, Gardenier.
Motion Santos, second Gardenier. Let's go around. Franco.
Aye.
Sunita.
Aye.
Andrew.
Aye.
And David Kwan.
Aye.
Howard.
Yes.
Ashvar.
Aye.
Dick.
Yes.
Dave Wilson.
Aye.
Oh, great. And I'm Chair Lanza. I vote aye as well. We have death notices. We will mention these 4 people's names, and then we'll have a moment of silence. So the death of Cloud Fornare, police officer, retired Jan 596. Good for you. Nice long retirement. Like to see that. Died November 24, 2022. So officer benefits to Cindy Fornare, spouse. Notification of death of Gerald Glavia, fire engineer, retired March 1st, 2001, died November 4th, 2022, no survivorship benefits. Notification of death of David L. Samsel, police sergeant, retired June 19th, 93. Love to see that 30-year retirement. died December 11th, 2022, no survivorship benefits, and a notification of the death of Clarence Wells, fire captain, retired January 30th, 2006. That's not long enough. Died October 31st, 2022, leaving behind no survivorship benefits. We'll now have a moment of silence. Thanks. Anybody want to make any comments about these folks?
Yeah, Dick Santos, I worked with Gredia, and it's unfortunate he passed away. He'd come to the car shows. He was enthusiastic about old cars and did a great job. And of course, Bobby Wells, what's called Clarence Wells, excellent captain and a good firefighter, just sad, very sad, the best of their families.
Anyone else?
Yeah, this is Franco. These guys retired right as I was coming on, so I didn't know them, but condolences to the families.
Thanks. Let me make a note. We skipped item 5.3 on Jay Mason. Jay, sorry we screwed up. I screwed up, so that's my apology. We didn't get the notes out to our people in time, so I owe you a beer, Jay, wherever you are.
Chair Lanza, can you actually, for the record, state that the item has been deferred to the next board meeting, which I believe is actually on February 2nd?
Absolutely. We will hear it as soon as we are available again together, which is in about a month. Thanks for reminding me, Roberto.
Thank you, Mr. Chair.
All right, we'll go through and do the committees. Your first Ashore Investment Committee.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you, Drew. So we did have a meeting, a real meeting, I guess, and we discussed private markets. Dinesh made an excellent presentation, discussed the manager due diligence process in public markets, where Christina made an excellent presentation, and then kind of went over the manager decisions for the second half of 2022. And then I guess we have the minutes of the AB 361 to file.
Great. Any questions for Eshwar? Let me know for the record that we accept those minutes of the November 3rd special committee meeting. Sunita, anything on audit risk?
We didn't have any meeting except for a special meeting to approve AB 361, so no update.
Great, thanks. And we accept those minutes, Sunita, from your AB 361 November 3rd meeting. Governance, Franco, anything to report on governance?
We have nothing to report. I believe our next meeting is until March.
Great, and we accept your minutes from the special meeting of November 3rd. Dick, anything to report from disability?
No, we're just waiting to hear what the next disability meeting will be confirmed, so thank you.
Great, and we accept also the AB 361 Disability Committee minutes from November 3rd. JPC, that's you, Eshwar. Anything to report?
Yeah, so we continue to work on both salary review of the CEO and the CIO and investment staff, and also trying to set up an incentive compensation plan. So still work in progress. We have another meeting coming up next week. So hopefully we try to finish these things up the first half of this year.
Great. And let me note, we'll accept the minutes from October 10 and November 8th and November 10th. Are there any comments from any of the board members, staff, retired actives, public? Going once, going twice. Everybody stay on the call. Over to you, Maytech.
Have you adjourned the meeting?
Yeah, that's me. That's me waving bye-bye.